A lot of people believe that Save the Cat is formulaic. It tells you what to do. It gives you strict rules about storytelling. They say that you don't have to follow the rules. If you want to stand out, break the rules. I've always dreamed of becoming a good filmmaker. I had worked in commercials and music videos doing the visual effects. But I was not involved in the stories until I started questioning if the visual effects were going to create a better story. Some of my projects were pretty good while others just sank because the stories were bad, including hundreds of personal projects. They were not connecting. The visual effects were great, but the core of the projects were weak. The stories did not justify the use of effects. I was happy at that time because I've had enough work doing visual effects, but somehow it didn't feel right. Then I moved to the marketing side, writing, directing, and producing commercials. But the clients were just worried about the call to action and the results obtained. It was then when I started to wonder about storytelling and the ability to connect in a deeper level. I found the book Save the Cat. I read it. It was an easy way to create stories, but I was not happy because it felt like cheating, like just filling an Excel sheet. I wanted to dig deeper into the structure of storytelling. At first, I loved the book. The way you can outline your story was easy and straightforward. So I used it every way I could on commercials, short films, and even music videos. The engagement of those commercials increased drastically. One day, a friend told me that Save the Cat was not a good book if I wanted to be considered a good storyteller. How could you be forced to make your character do something good? Save a cat. What about the flaws and the irony? He was right, and I didn't want to be considered a bad story writer. So I started reading other books. Do Story by Babette Pastor, Hero with a Thousand Faces by Joseph Campbell, among others. I was reading those books, and obviously the Bible for Screenwriters, Story by Robert McKee. Robert McKee is the guru for storytelling. He has written Story, Dialogue, and Storynomics. It was the book I was looking for, and it was thick, which made me believe that I was more intelligent. Probably the thickness of a book made me believe I was a grown-up storyteller. I had dropped the idea behind Save the Cat because with Story it felt like I was going in the right direction. It was the book, until one day I decided to compare it with Story, and then with other storytelling books and concepts. Damn, I was wrong. The same structure, the same ideas, the same concept. The book that I believed that was crappy turned out to be a well-crafted summary of all of the other books. The authors called the plot points in different ways, and they shared the same idea and the same structure. I created an Excel sheet with their own plot points names, and voila! They were all the same. It was the same song, different tune. The hero's journey. So, what about Saving the Cat? Well, in Spanish we have a saying, La misma gata pero revolcada, which translates into the same cat but tumbled. All of them agree that a character must be believable. It must have an arc. But in order to make it relatable, it has to show a trait that will make him appealing and trustworthy, because the audience attention is at stake. Even anti-heroes. Yes, they have done a good deed. Not saving a cat, but something that would make us feel empathy for them. Saving the cat has to do with showing a wound and a desire that will connect with the audience. It is about creating a relatable character. He will guide us. We look in the stories we watch, read, or hear, clues for survival and meaning. Now, every time I hear somebody complaining about Save the Cat, I know his or her flaw. That person wants to be seen as highly educated, to overcome his or her own fear to be seen as he or she actually is, a narcissistic or amateur storyteller. Story, Save the Cat, Do Story, A Hero with a Thousand Faces, they are all the same. Once you know all the rules, a master can break them, but not the other way around. At the end, all of the books are formulas. And if you followed this video all along, you may have noticed that I followed Save the Cat template to create it. Bye bye.